Andrew. And away to a good start, Arctic Copper in the noseband, blue jacket, Goguenard towards the inside, white sleeves, Duralane handy with silence reins, clearing the first fence at some speed, and they're all safely over that. Go Roger Go in the green and gold hoops, settled in midfield at the moment, pulling quite hard as they jump the second. Goguenard and Arctic Copper, Duralane, Hermes in the green jacket, Armour Turk in orange, and Fidalco in a noseband away to the inside on the right. Silence Reigns is wider out in red and white, then the grey, Scots grey, and Lady Cricket up the inside of Go Roger Go, Fondmort and Shergan. Wide is Tresor de Mai from Arctic Fancy then, and young Spartacus towards the back at the moment as they make the bottom turn. Also at the back, Cregg House and Europa, and Horus is also held up in the rear. Strongly run race as they go round the bottom turn and head towards a line of 3 fences. The fourth coming up, and Duralane now pulls his way into the lead here. Duralane, hands of Jim Cullity, will be a best mate tomorrow. Duralane leads over this one with Arctic Copper handy, and Go Roger Go is a faller there. Go Roger Go has gone. The well fancied JP McManus runner down. Duralane in front from Goguenard, and out wide Hermes now. And then Arctic Copper from Scots Grey and Armour Turk. Lady Cricket towards the inside. Silence Reigns wider with Arctic Fancy and Tresor de Mai. And Norman Williamson is still on the deck after his fall from Go Roger Go. Meanwhile, the field head towards the next. Duralane from Goguenard. Arctic Copper is third, Hermes is 4 wide of Armour Turk, then Scots Grey. On the inside, Fidalco of in a brown jacket, Fondmort. The black and yellow Arctic Fancy halfway down the field, followed by Silence Reigns. Then young Spartacus and Horus and Lady Cricket, Tresor de Mai and Blowing Wind a bit off the pace, seeking his third festival win. Shergan, Cregg House and Europa over the next plain fence, heading for the back straight, and they're really tanking along now. Mistake there by Arctic Fancy. As they run into the back straight, Norman Williamson's getting up. Downhill to the next. There's Norman on his knees. Looks okay. Onto the next plain fence. Duralane, Goguenard. Hermes makes a bit of a blunder out wide at that one. And down at the rear was Europa there. Europa last all the way and down. Now a water jump. Duralane, Goguenard, Scots Grey moves up out wide, clearing the water. Armour Turk and Arctic Copper and Hermes. And then Fidalco from Silence Reigns. Lady Cricket trying to get into the race with Horus as well out wider, and young Spartacus on the wide outside as they clear this open ditch. And then up back to Arctic Fancy and Blowing Wind in the rear, beginning to climb. Another plain fence coming up, and there's been no let up, and it's Duralane and Armour Turk going head and head here with Goguenard towards the inside. Wide is Scots Grey. Horus hard at work in 5th place from Arctic Copper. Then young Spartacus and Hermes losing ground. Fondmort is improving now, round horses. Silence Reigns on the inside. The blue headgear, that's Lady Cricket. She's not too well placed. Fidalco next. A big open ditch, top of the hill. Scots Grey blundered through it. Silence Reigns, a mistake back in the field as well. Top of the hill, Goguenard now strikes the front here. Warren Marston riding for Sue Smith with Armour Turk in second. Duralane in third on the inside. Then in 4th place is Scots Grey. Young Spartacus beginning to get into the race in 5th place. A white jacket, black chevron, Richard Johnson. Fondmort wider, then Horus. A gap to Lady Cricket, who's beginning to stay on from Arctic Copper and Fidalco. Back then to Silence Reigns and Cregg House. Goguenard, though, is kicking on as they run down towards the third last. Goguenard takes it a couple of lengths ahead of Scots Grey on the outside of Armour Turk. Young Spartacus, every chance. Silence Reigns unseats there. Horus is back in 6th place from Lady Cricket. Here's the second last. It's Goguenard still going great guns. Fondmort trying to lay down a challenge with young Spartacus. He's unseated. Goguenard blunders. Warren Marston away there when leading. Young Spartacus now left in front. Boy, that second last fence has taken some casualties today. It's young Spartacus turns ahead of Fondmort second. Scots Grey is third, and Lady Cricket back in 4th place. It's young Spartacus and Richard Johnson. Fondmort and Mick Fitzgerald. The final fence, young Spartacus rides first. Fondmort sprawls on the far side. Scots Grey is third. Up the hill, young Spartacus and Fondmort. It's Young Spartacus making a big comeback here at the Cheltenham Festival and drawing clear of Fondmort. Young Spartacus wins the Mildmay of Flete. Fondmort in second, Scots Grey third. Flashing home for fourth was Cregg ahead of Lady Cricket and then Horus.
What a wonderful training performance by Henry Daly. Richard Johnson's third winner of the festival. Young Spartacus last seen in January the 12th last year, so he's been off the course for over a year. And he's come out and won here at the festival.
Tremendous training performance from Henry Daly. 424 days this horse has been on the track. He said that he thought it was probably best to bring the horse here fresh rather than throw this race away by maybe running poorly on a bounce, coming back and winning one and then running poorly on the bounce. And compensation really for that tight finish yesterday when Hot Cersei lost out to You'll Never Walk Alone yesterday. Tremendous training performance.
And if you remember what a classy horse he is, because he won the Racing Post Chase a year or so ago. He beat Comanche Court on that occasion, so you know he's mixed it with the best. It was a terrific race and an eventful exit by Warren Marston on Goguenard, and an uncharacteristic blunder, tired mistake by Fondmort at the last.
Yeah, it looked fast and furious out there in that race, so it didn't. Plenty of action happening. I feel for Warren. He looks to be travelling particularly well. I really feel for him, but as you said it all credit to Henry Daly, and a great ride from Richard Johnson. It's a great training performance to get this horse back here and winning at the festival.
Okay, well, an awful lot happened 3 fences from home, and we can review it now as we go back, and there you can see the winner highlighted just in behind.
Yeah, at this point he's a few paces behind Goguenard, and Goguenard, who's a transformed horse this season, and at the back there you see Silence Reigns departing, but here Goguenard looks like he's going to go on and really has them all at it, and this is such a blunder down on his nose and out the side door for Warren Marston. Nasty fall, and he'll be so gutted by that.
It would have been a miracle if he'd stayed on board there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, we saw it in the previous race, in the amateur race, that I can't think who the jockey was. He was nearly off at the same fence, and there was a horse beside him, Scots Grey, that he was able to shove himself back in. Jamie Codd, I think it was. And unfortunately for Warren, there was nothing there. Gravity took over, and that was it.
Well, despite being off the course for a long time, Young Spartacus, 424 days away, 16-1 the winner. And in second and third place, well, a 2-3 for Nicky Henderson, Fondmort and Scots Grey. And fourth, you get paid out for the fourth, number 17, Cregg has finished in fourth place for Paddy Mullins. So let's go back to Peter and give you the SP.
Thank you, Robert. Number 6, Young Spartacus, the winner, 16-1. Doesn't he go well fresh? Richard Johnson, that's 3 winners at the festival for him now, level with Barry Geraghty. Fondmort second at 11-2, third Scots Grey 16-1, and fourth was Cregg at 25-1. Go Roger Go, a faller at 5-1, and 19 ran in the absence of 7